Hey guys, Glenn here. Doing this video to sort of update on the status of Clash of Clans 2021 June. So with the new update with the defenses and offense, it seems like air attacks are just way too dominant and something you just want to master and get better at, because that's where the meta is. That's where the defenses will start trying to protect the base against. And so bases like this, the anti 2-star base like this, is actually really weak against air attacks because it's designed to counter ground-based attacks, all forms of ground-based attacks. Like hybrid would not work very well because the queen will have difficult time fighting against all of these ground defenses at once, and the blimp have a very difficult path to the town hall, so the likelihood of getting the 2-star on the town hall with the blimp is very low. And also on top of that, you have the actual miners and hogs going into the town hall will probably kill them with the poison, even with the warding ability. So it's just really bad for all forms of ground attacks. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing the E-drag attacks, and all the anti 2-star bases, you gotta think about E-drags or Edragloon, Fernoskellies, like all air attacks, because the chances are the hound inside the CC or all air, like if it's all air troops, the chances are your CC, the defensive CCs, will not be triggered, and you don't need to bring a poison for it. Or even if they do come out, you have a poison for it. I mean, you don't need a poison for it because your dragons raised up is enough to take down the enemy CC. So the town hall does barely go down here, but I did have my RC saved in case it didn't go down. But see, like, this just shows that all air attack on a anti 2-star base like this seems to be the way to go. I do come very close, mainly because I didn't funnel my dragons as well as I should have. A lot of the dragons went to the side with the queen here, but 3-3 I guess. And this just, I wanted to show this attack because it shows where the meta bases are, designs are, and what kind of attacks can take it down. Another one that I want to show is an attack that shows that, you know, the base design nowadays are going to be the 3 multi-infernos, and scatters in its own compartments, and town hall in its own compartment. So if you can see, you got the multi-compartments here, you got the town hall compartment, you got the eagle compartment, and you got the scatter compartment. This is nothing, but really this is protected by the RC, this is protected by the enemy queen. So you have to think about surgically how you're going to cut down this base to maximize the value of your troops. So what Kenny's doing here, which is brilliant, is he's taking down this compartment with the king, this compartment, just enough troops and things to take it down with his queen, and creating this funnel, this pathway right down the middle with his dragons. And usually with dragon and loons, you always got to think about a narrow pathing for them to be hit less, but also do more damage to the base while they're clumped up. So once this compartment goes down, he invests his warden ability to keep the blimp alive, but to fight through the threat of this part of the base, which is the RC and the core multi-inferno. And then it's got the dragon and loons to try to finish off the town hall, which the blimp does not do, but he invests freezes and he invests rage to get it down. So as long as that's all taken care of, this compartment, he knows that the rest of this can be taken down by the RC. And usually that's what you want to do, is keep the freezes and some spell combinations. It could be skellies, it could be bats, sometimes it's lightning, but usually from my experience, dragon and lightning doesn't have a very good 3-star rate. So I would try my best to avoid using lightning with dragon attacks. And there's also invisibility spells that you can use for the RC as well. So this is just another great demonstration of spells and troops being used efficiently to take down a pretty well designed base. And I think he swags a spell there as well. Another attack that I've been using that to me shows me the best chance of getting 3 stars is the dragon and loons with the blizzard. The reason why this works so well is because the blizzard, the blimp, works to take and absorb the trap in the core of the base, which usually the dragons thin out quickly by then because there's just too much damage in the core. Like for instance, there's the scatter, the town hall, AD, another scatter, and this in the core. So once the dragons land about here, they're basically gonna get slammed really hard. So right now the dragons are getting hit, but they're not taking as much damage as they would when they're in the core. So that's when I use the warden ability. I should have already dropped my blimp, so this was a poorly executed attack. But you'll see how dominating this attack is because I still get the triple. So I have the blimp, make it to the core, and usually you want to send the blizzard at the town hall, but the reason why this works so well is because the blimp doesn't have to make all the way to the town hall. It just needs to make it to the compartment before the town hall that is reachable to the town hall. So that blizzard pretty much quickly, with the help of the dragon here, but they should have really been there before the dragons got there, but they basically quickly got rid of the town hall and the scatter, so they never really got a chance to do a lot of damage to my dragons, which is why I still have a lot of dragons left for the back end. And in this case, I used the RC to funnel, and I used my king queen here where they're not going to be hit as well, which is why I still have my queen make it all the way over here, which really helps to take down a lot of the base for my dragons to just keep pushing through the middle. I should have saved something like it's good to have like an extra minion or something for better funnel, or maybe even an extra baby dragon instead of another dragon, just to create that nice funnel. So always cut everything down so that your dragons can stay in the core of the base. So blizzard to me have been around 70-75% 3-star successful 3-star rates, so I think it's worth looking into as a Town Hall 14 strategy, and I think it also works very well for Town Hall 13s as well. So the reason why I was able to abuse these bases is because these guys were running a lot of Town Hall 14 bases with a single Inferno, and single Infernos to me right now is a big no-no for Town Hall 14. Town Hall 14 just cannot have single Infernos anymore, because the reason why there were single Infernos were to counter hybrid and the queen charges the queen charge is going to get. But ever since the invisibility spell was introduced with the extra spell in our CC in Town Hall 14 as well, it's so easy to counter single Infernos. Like here I have the freezes to counter it, I have the double skellies to counter it, with the hero, the queen being distracted here as well. It's just bad news for Town Hall 14 bases if you're going to run in single Infernos, because there's just so many spells and so many ways to counter it. I can even send 3-6 hogs at it with the RC, and you know, with my what's this called, my pet as well, countering or like protecting my RC with the hogs. That single Inferno is not going to do a thing. And this is another triple, so I'm just gonna skip. And another attack that still is viable is the pekkasmash with super wizards, but I don't want to invest the super wizards, so I'm just running it with the bowlers here, but they still work. as long as your warden ability is timed correctly so that they're protected. But here again, single infernos, and you're going to see how I abuse the backside of this base. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to funnel this side with the Thief Barrack and my king and witches. And I'm just going to run my troops down this way, jump, avoiding the town hall because I don't want to get my troops into the poison. And then notice how there's these 3 compartments and they all have single inferno. So what am I going to do? I'm going to send my 5 hogs and the hogs in my siege barrack through that. And if the single inferno just happens to lock onto my hero, I have 4 freezes and an invisibility spell to get myself out of it. Like, it's like a get out of the jail free card. And it's just, for me, Town Hall 14, you just gotta run 3 multi-infernos or maybe 1 single. That is if it's going to be next to the Town Hall, because the Town Hall, essentially, once it's active, is a multi-inferno tower-ish. So having a single there kind of helps to protect it against that last dragon or a queen charge going at the Town Hall. But other than that, I just don't see the need to have single infernos in Town Hall 14 bases. And I think this applies to Town Hall 13 as well. You just don't want to run single infernos. So here you see that single inferno in the first compartment does nothing. I have 6-7 hogs still there. And you're going to see, where's my RC? Did I not send my RC? Oh yeah, my RC is over here. RC is helping out with the king, and I have the few other hogs. This is the hogs from the siege, and this is my own hog from the army. And look, like, if you look carefully, these single infernos are not doing anything. And once it does lock onto my queen here, I'm just like, okay, freeze, you're useless now. So these compartments mean nothing if those infernos are doing that. So the reason why the multi is just better at this point is, even though it might not kill the queen, it might not kill the pekka, as long as it's doing damage to the healers, it's doing the damage to the super wizards, the witches, it's doing some damage, so they do have a chance of dying. So that's just where the meta is. I think everyone has to learn how to do dragon all air attacks. Dragons, E-Drags, Ferno, baby dragons with skellies, and a lot of freezes. I've seen variations where there is 15 freezes, not 15, like 13 freezes. That usually works better for bases that have a lot of defenses that are clustered. So once you freeze something, you're getting a lot of value in like stopping 2, 3, 4 defenses at times. Also, think skeleton spells are good, doing the similar thing that freeze is doing, distracting the defenses so your troops are not targeted. But it's also good to have skellies to counter enemy queens or heroes, because they're going to be distracted, and sometimes it's hard to freeze them because they're moving around and stuff. So skellies and 2 skellies usually is enough to have an enemy queen or enemy RC or the single inferno to pretty much never target your dragons. So always think about which compartment it's good to have the double skeleton spells. So that's just where the meta is. And the dragon riders, I don't have a lot of experience with them, but from watching a lot of videos on it, it seems like them paired with Ferno dragons or just regular dragons, like half kind of, or little more Ferno dragons but like 4 or 5 dragon riders seems to be another meta attack where you can pair that with couple skellies. I've tried it with like 6 freeze, 1 rage, and like 3, 4 skellies, and that seems to be the sweet spot to countering the enemy heroes and the Fernos. And blimp the town hall usually with the Ferno dragons, and that's just where the meta is. It's just overpowering. Even with the expos set to air, all dragon attacks are going to get a good 2-star 80%, 85% range. It's just an attack I feel like it's it's just working too well at this point for you to try to mess with other ground form attacks or other strategies. And I hope this video just helps you to see where the game is, and try out some of these attacks that you see and see if it works for you. Usually in just farming, it seems to work well for just spamming dragons and getting all the loot and the 100% 3-stars. So yeah, give it a try, and hopefully you find the strategy that works for you. It's been Glenn, and I'll see you in the game. Clash on, guys.